Hi guys, I'm back with another page in my pocket page notebook and another way to make a really quick repeat pattern with your stamps. I am going to use this new set from Kelly Stamps, Labels 102, and I think the thing that spurred me on with this was that when you get a stamp set like this, it's always laid out so nicely on the sheet. I figured why not try and replicate that on this block. So now that I've got a bigger block, I definitely can do this a lot easier. So all I'm doing is peeling off the stamps and sticking them onto my block in the same order that they are placed on the sheet. So I needed to do a little bit of shuffling, and I think the most important thing to remember is to try to line them up on the left and right sides. So I did have to squeeze them on because my block is slightly smaller than the height of the actual stamp sheet. So I'm just doing my best to shuffle them around until they fit. And I managed to fit them on almost exactly as they are on the sheet, except this one little stamp that I had to rotate to make them fit. And then I can get on with stamping. So I'm gonna just stamp on an insert piece of paper. I've just trimmed that to fit into my pocket. And I'm using this black and grey ombre ink. So you can see here the ink pad doesn't cover the whole block of stamps, so I am rotating it each time so that it goes from grey to black and back to grey again. You could totally do this with a single colour ink pad, it would be much easier, but I did like the effect that using an ombre ink gave it. It just added a little bit more texture to what could be quite a plain pattern. In between each inking, I am just cleaning it off on a piece of scrap paper because I'm then going to rotate my stamp pad around. So this time it's going to ombre from black to grey and then back to black again. And I'm just offsetting it slightly from where I stamped the first original one. So you can see how quickly this is going to go. I'm just going to speed this up even though it was very quick to stamp. I'm only going to need to stamp this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, so I'm only making 5 stamp impressions to fill this entire sheet of repeat pattern. If you've never used one of these ombre inks before, I really love them, and the trick to it is you have to tap them multiple little times just to get that ink blending nicely, because the ink on the actual pad is in just 3 clear strips, so if you only ink it once, you'll just get 3 stripes of colour rather than that nice blend. And that's it. That's how easy it is to create this pattern. I think it's a really cheaty way of making a repeat pattern. It's using somebody else's hard work and they've already done all that work, so why not benefit from it? The other side of this page I'm going to keep equally as simple. I've just got a photo of a delicious breakfast that we had one day. Whenever we go out for breakfast, if Waffles is a choice on the menu, I don't really see it as a choice. I have to have Waffles, doesn't matter where we go. If Waffles are on offer, that's what I'm having. So that's what I'm going to stamp. I am using the Anzac Ave stamp from Kelly Stamps as well, just to stamp out my title, and I'm stamping that directly onto the page. I'll worry about what's showing through on the back of this another time. And it's at this point that I realised there's no punctuation in this stamp set, because what I really wanted it to say is Waffles, question mark. So I'm going to finish stamping my title in this alpha, and then I'm going to rummage through my old alphas and see if I can find one that's a similar style, similar size, but with some punctuation. And I found this super old set. I think it's called Alpha Nut, and it had some punctuation, question mark and an exclamation mark, which worked out perfectly. Now, you could always add as much embellishment to a page like this as you wanted, but my point with this is to keep it as simple as possible. So all I'm going to do is add a little bit of journaling in the 3 spots on my stamped page that have journal lines, and then call this page done. I love finding ways to cheat these sort of repeat patterns. I love creating these patterns, especially for my pocket page notebooks. It just makes an easy page even easier. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There's a couple more videos on screen if you want to keep watching. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!